Hello Libra. Congratulations, you guys are second of the rank this week for most viewed, most interacted video. So, weekly reading for week beginning April 27th. We're closing off the last week of what has been a very interesting month in April, aren't we? Now, your April monthly is up. If you haven't watched it already, your Practically Soulful reading is there. What else was I going to say? Next month, I'm going to be doing free reading giveaways. So, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about the channel if they resonate with zodiac readings, if they resonate with anything really in relation to being an empath, a sensitive, intuitive. That's essentially who this channel is for. My intention with all my readings are deeper healing, acknowledgement of what you already know. So it's about confirmation. I'm a big believer in encouraging individuals that do cross my path to follow their deeper wisdom. You know, I'm quite passionate about that. I feel like it is an essential navigating and guiding force that we are all born onto this world with, and perhaps the societies we live in suppress that, yeah, out of fear, out of whatever reason. So it's about awakening that and uncovering that for self. So Libra, let's take a look at your weekly reading. Theme: reflection. You're definitely in review mode, my dear. Aren't we all? In lockdown we are. Let me just give the tarot a bit of a shuffle while I talk about that reflection card. There's a lot of blue and purple. What does that mean? Essentially, throat chakra is the blue. Purple is your third eye chakra. You're seeing things. You're seeing the value of communication. You're seeing your journey in a whole new way and perhaps wanting to communicate that. And you are very much like that lone wolf. You might not be outwardly expressing it. It might be conversations and communications you're having with yourself. So it's more so acknowledgement. You're looking at everything you've learned to date. What has this journey been for? Apply that how it resonates to a connection, to an experience, to a career, to your whole life. I do feel in many ways there are Libras out there that feel alone in their journey, but not in a bad way. This is also, it's been almost essential for you to retreat unto yourself in order to come to these realizations. I do want to say the last full moon, which was a couple of weeks ago, has perhaps activated something for you. So in the last couple of weeks, this energy has been permeating, okay? This energy may be permeating for you for the next 2 weeks as we move towards a full moon in a couple of weeks. Oh, I do want to say, by the second week of May, we are going to be entering retrograde cycles. So there's going to be 4 planets in retrograde. So if you think you're in reflection mode now, by golly gosh, just wait for it. Holy dooly. I'm loving your cards. Just saying. There is going to be something that awakens a conversation, an awakening with you, a sudden realization that something has to end. If I'm talking to Libras that are in a connection, okay, everything is solidifying. So when I say something ends, the old you, the old version of you, the old lifestyle, the old way in which the connection was. So dating to engagement, for example, dating to, you know, engagement to marriage, solidifying a connection. If I'm talking to a Libra that is already in connection, I'm speaking to 2 versions of you. There are Libras there that are re-solidifying their connection, their commitment, and there are Libras that are perhaps wanting to leave a connection, okay? So family, connection, love, marriage is a very, very big theme in this reflection. These might be practical things that are happening around you, within your family, relationships coming together, engagements, things solidifying, okay? I feel in many ways there are Libras that are reflecting their journey to date in their connection and how much you have grown, how much it has led you to your 10 of Cups, your emotional fulfillment. how much you have achieved together. And if that's not the case for you, Libra, then I feel there are Libras out there that are really, you know, isolation has been very eye-opening for so many, and heart-opening for so many. You know, I said this a lot in last week's videos. We're suddenly forced to spend time, extended time with people that we dearly love, yes, but we're in this routine where we're so used to leaving very early in the day, coming back late at night. So here we are in isolation together with all this freedom to connect and rediscover each other, and how that develops and pans out is going to be unique for all relationships. You know, do we really even know each other after all this time being together, being married? Do we, you know, careers and lifestyles, they take up a big portion of our time. It just goes to show how much of our time we actually invest in everything else other than what and who we supposedly love the most, you know? Like smack bang in the middle, you have a brand new beginning that is tangible and that is exciting. You have two aces. This is huge, and if you are not feeling the enormity of this energy right now because you're still in some form of reflection, this downtime, this quiet solitude, I will even touch on it and say it's perhaps a little bit of depression, very introspection energy at the very least. Life is about to go boom. You are going to get a sudden idea, a sudden inspiration, a sudden clarity, a confidence, a drive. Something is going to land in your lap that is solidifying, that is going to be the money you need to start that new chapter. This is marriage, okay? This is passion. And there's a very big focus this week for Libras. Whatever package you come in, about how important this is for you, okay? I'm just going to leave that there. You know, we're reviewing our journey to date and how much passion, how much we value passion, how much we value excitement, how we want to solidify and bring that back into our marriage, Libra. And if that's not going to be there, then I feel like there's an ending somewhat, you know, and that doesn't have to be scary. When the Tower shows up, this is an awakening card. This is getting back to blueprint and being authentic and real with ourselves about what and who matters the most. I also feel like I'm talking to a Libra that's perhaps talking to a dear friend about all this. So this might, you know, if it's applicable in your reading, it's because you are passing on that information. I know that sounds odd, but I just thought I'd mention that. I was feeling that because this is like communication. But there is a very big new beginning. If you don't feel this yet, you very well soon will be, because unequivocally in the past, the Fool has shown up. This is 0 point energy. This life pressed reset, and so too did your heart, so too did your soul. And you must be in some form of review mode still, okay? If you're not feeling this energy, just once that moon goes away and the sunlight comes out, that's how quickly you'll start to feel it. If you're not feeling it right now when you're watching this, okay? It was time to get back to blueprint. If you find yourself, if you were single and you just decided this is what I want, I'm not going to be dating anymore, I'm not going to be investing my time in connections that do not lead to anything. If I was in a marriage and not happy and we just didn't have the time to address all this stuff, you know, this blueprint is the time we go back to why are we originally together? What is this for? What are we creating? Let's review the journey. And this could very well have been a deep internal process for you, Libra. It's about taking a risk and deciding I want to take a risk. You know, when the Three of Cups shows up, it's a coming together, it's a celebration. It's, hey guys, don't bark please. Come here, come here. Sorry. The Three of Cups shows up, this is a coming together. I'm celebrating something. I'm celebrating this energy that I'm suddenly feeling. I'm celebrating this awareness. This is what I want because it matters to me. I'm wanting a new beginning. I'm wanting to feel like this about life again. I'm definitely, there's so many storylines I'm picking up on here, guys. This is celebrations within a family about news, okay? Hey, come here. Please stop it. Come here. Come on. And it is an opportunity. This refresh, this reset, this getting back to blueprint energy is an opportunity to start all over again. Because, you know, when the Tower card shows up, what was built on shaky ground eventually falls. We can play a life, we can play a routine. We had to get back to the blueprint in one way or another. You know what I love about these cards in this deck? The Tower card just looks like he's doing parkour. Like it's not as destructive as it looks. It almost looks, there can be a graceful ending here, is what I feel like I have to say to one or two Libras. There can be a graceful letting go of what no longer resonates and fits, because you are deeply wanting this new beginning on some level. You're wanting to rush towards it. It's very, very much about love and connection and endings and beginnings and following intuition. What emotionally sustains us and fulfills us. You've manifested something and it is now coming in. I'm going to say there is a 3-week window. There is a 1-year window, a 10-month window. Those time frames are relevant. The last moon cycle, the next moon cycle, okay? The King of Cups is also here. This is about emotional mastery. Maybe this was something that had to be developed within you in order for you to begin this new chapter, to do this reflection process so that you can communicate your needs, what you're wanting. Life and this new beginning has suddenly seen you develop emotional mastery when it comes to your truth. You can also be connecting to a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio that might be in your chart. The King of Cups is emotional fulfillment. Like the 10 of Cups is emotional fulfillment. The moon is here. You know, you're guided by intuition, but you're perhaps a little bit scared to do so. But it's speaking to you. In your review, in your reflection, in your umming and ahhing, your intuition is speaking to you, is what I want to say. Because there's an offer here, there's an offer that can lead to your emotional fulfillment, Libra. Apply that however it resonates. I do want to see how this story unfolds because it affects the family, it affects the marriage. It's something you desperately want to rush towards. It is something that can be celebrated, but you are feeling conflicted because of the past, because of children, because of how the past has navigated for you. I'm going to say, do not let your fears get in the way. Now, I'm speaking to a specific Libra here. Do not let your fears get in the way. And your fears, you might be defensive about judgment. You might feel like you need to defend your right to feel emotionally satisfied, however that comes packaged, however that fits in with everyone else's desires, beliefs. Because I feel like I'm speaking to a couple of Libras that have formed a connection that is not of acceptance to someone else, family or otherwise. There's a 2-year story. What I'm going to say next is specifically for one Libra that if you hold yourself back, you will break your own heart. And now I feel like crying. Feeling like this lone wolf, like you have traveled, and you know, we can be in company, We can be in partnership. Maybe you've been single for a very long time. It doesn't really matter. This sense of feeling like the lone wolf and not feeling like we've been heard, been met at our level is what I keep hearing, Libra. I want to be met at my level. And yes, I have so much to be grateful for. But it is now time for me. It is now time for me to speak these truths. It is now time, and whatever your end goal is, it's already solidified within you. And all that's holding you back is, because it's hard work, you know, it's hard work to start all over again. But connections can be reborn, connections can reform. As new connections come in, other ones shapeshift and take on different forms and roles within our life. This is something for the family. It is going to benefit the family. And if genuine emotional fulfillment is ultimately what is going to benefit everyone in the family, then when we show others that we are following our heart and being true to self, it's teaching others, our children, our loved ones, that it's safe to do so. This is a lot of, I don't feel there's a massive risk that you will hold yourself back from this, but there has been a massive invitation for you to walk yourself towards emotional fulfillment, but it is a choice and a decision that's ultimately going to affect other people, and that is what will hold you back in the end. But what I do want to say, what the cards are saying, and what I'm intuitively picking up on with that particular storyline, is that in following your heart on deeper soul levels, it shows others that they have the divine right to do that for themselves too. Because it is time to awaken to a new beginning. So apply that however it applies to your circumstances. You're wanting something you can commit to, wanting something that you can feel passionate about. You want a path, a career, a connection that you feel like this in. And if it's in the connection you're already in, you're wanting to reignite this again. But like I said, there's very practical celebrations of new love here. There's very practical celebrations of new love for life. You have manifested something, and then you're going to be standing there waiting and saying, what do I do? What do I do now? I feel like I need to pull other cards for you. So this is an ending. There is an ending to your old world, okay? The ending to the old you. Like, you can even try and walk into this energetically. You can even try to walk into this new chapter or play the same role. But that old you is gone. That old you is gone. There was a crossroads where you had to make a judgment call. And you chose emotional fulfillment, or you will. Whatever that means for you, Libra. There's a lot of major energy here that has, and this might even span as far back as 1 to 2 years, and it definitely paves the path for the next 1 to 2 years ahead, okay? You're awakening to some higher principles about love, connection, emotional satisfaction. what it is that you genuinely want to celebrate in your life. The magic of pressing reset, the magic of getting back to blueprint and starting all over again can be completely invigorating. Watch what you can achieve in the next year. What I do want to say, when the Judgment card shows up, the ghosts of the past will continue to haunt you until you sit down at the table with them and you express your truth. Something about 20. I will not doubt, this is amazing energy, Libra, but I feel a deeper transformative energy. It actually feels so conflicting. I don't feel, because you know this is coming, you know this has to happen. And I don't even feel like you're in avoidance mode even. On subconscious levels, you know that you're deeply transformed, or you are transforming, and very soon it will be time for it to make manifest within your physical environment. So that's going to be reflected in what life looks like, what you do for a job, what your career looks like, whether you start that business, what your marriage looks like, what kind of partnership you bring into your... You have deeply transformed on the inside, and it is now going to make manifest in your external reality within the next year to 2 years. And you already know this. Because this is about love. God, I feel like I've got to pull from other decks for you. This is about love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. Surrender, surrender, surrender is what I keep hearing. Let's see how your next week's reading goes. This feels like a very cool, romantic story. And sometimes the greatest love story we can have is the relationship we have with ourselves. And I truly hope you choose that deeper emotional fulfillment, Libra. It is for you. Okay, I'll see you next week.